The sun leans low against the glass, a shimmer held in amber thread. The air a hush that almost sings, brushing close but lightly said. We sit with shoulders nearly touched, the rooftop hum beneath our feet. Your drink half full, the ice aglow, melting slow in softened beat. A napkin flutters on the rail, the silence folded clean and sweet. Rooftop breeze, the world aglow in orange light. Your shadow shifts against the glass and time dissolves without a fight. The stillness moves but leaves no sound. The city murmurs far below, its rhythm dulled by rising air. You tilt your glass, a line of gold, the wind caught gently in your hair. A lantern flickers by the door, the light it spills too soft to wear. Was it the breeze or just your gaze that traced the edges of my thought? Some truths don't ask to be declared, they linger warm but speak them not. Rooftop breeze, the world aglow in orange light. Your shadow shifts against the glass and time dissolves without a fight. The stillness moves but leaves no sound. You rise, your hand still near the rim. The sun slips past, the moment thins, and all that's left a breath, a trace, a quiet drift beneath the wind. Linen shifts against bare skin, the curtain lifts and drapes again. A hush rests slightly on the rail, like something thought but not yet named. Ceramic warm against your hands, the cup still holds the morning calm. A city breathes beneath your feet, soft rooftops flicker without alarm. Your shadow folds across the tile, you lean half lost in golden balm. This is a sunlit balcony where coffee steams and time feels slow. The air hums low, a linen rhythm held in the hush of what we know. A quiet day begins to bloom. The distant clink of plates below, a sparrow's wings across the rail. Your shoulder touched by a mottled shade, a breeze that speaks but leaves no trail. You watch the light drift on your wrist as hours pause and stories pale. Do you recall before we learned to sit this still, before the warmth became enough, a silent cup, a softened will. This is a sunlit balcony where coffee steams and time feels slow. The air hums low, a linen rhythm held in the hush of what we know. A quiet day begins to bloom. But only just and slow, the warmth still woven in your sleeve. The sky remains a folded sheet, and in its crease we barely leave. Sun flickers through the rear view dust. A breeze slips in, then hums again. The road begins before the thought, and rhythm builds beneath the skin. You tap the wheel with open hands. The speakers spill a golden tune. My window down, your elbow out. We chase the bend of afternoon. A soda cup between our knees. The sky stretched wide, a glowing swoon. Drive me there, where motion sings and time forgets, with wind that dances through the sunroof, and silence laced with silhouettes. We ride the light and leave no trace. The roadside blurs and faded stripes, old signs and fields begin to blend. Your foot keeps beat, the miles fold in. We let the highway shift and bend. No need for names, no map, no plan. Just every curve a whispered friend. Was it the wind or just your voice that pulled me further into flame? Each mile a note, a moving truth. I'd follow it, not knowing names. Drive me there, where motion sings and time forgets, with wind that dances through the sunroof, and silence laced with silhouettes. We ride the light and leave no trace. The day leans back, the skyline gold. You glance my way and nothing more. The road ahead keeps flowing wide, and I don't care what came before. stretched quiet under silver light. Ropes creaked in the sway of the tide. Footsteps scattered in sync with the distant beat. Glass reflections bending in the water skin. Somewhere laughter rolled like a low drum. We dance in the blue, swaying with the pulse. The waves remember. A streak of light stitched the night into motion. Lanterns along the harbor trembled in the breeze. Vinyl echoes spilled from an unseen deck. The rhythm climbed like a tide at midnight, pulling our movements deeper into its glow. Beneath the moonbeam's quiet ripple, I felt the night lean closer, as if the sea itself was keeping time. We dance in the blue, swaying with the pulse. The waves remember. A streak of light stitched the night into motion. And in the harbor's hush, the tide wrote our steps in silver. A quiet slipper slide on marble floor. Hush giggles trail a closing door. The hallway glows in faded gold. A secret hour, nothing more. You hold the mango on a napkin fold. Your sweetness leaking at the seam. The minibar hums like distant waves, while night drips slow into a dream. We sit cross-legged on borrowed ground, beneath the hallway's sleepy gleam. Midnight mango, sweet like trouble, soft and bright. Your laughter rings in echoes near, like citrus bursts through velvet night. And nothing's wrong when it feels this right. We trade a bite and tilt our heads, your grin still glowing in the low light. A sticker peels from your pajama hem. The fridge clicks once, then fades from sight. Someone stirs beyond the wall, but we just hush and breathe in tight. Will we remember how we laughed with mango juice upon our hands? Will midnight ever feel this warm, when morning shifts and understands? Midnight mango, sweet like trouble, soft and bright. Your laughter rings in echoes near, like citrus bursts through velvet night. And nothing's wrong when it feels this right. A final chuckle barely heard. We vanish back behind the door with no goodbye and not a word. Curtains breathe, just barely moved by air that hums, then hides again. A muted glow along the wall, no footsteps, just the quiet stain. Outside, the city flickers low, each sign a pulse of glass. A crimson arc, a cobalt curve, the present stretching through the past. You sit alone in linen folds, the hush held deep, too soft to ask. There's neon in the window, a language light alone can speak. It writes in loops upon your skin and fills the room with colors weak. A quiet night that doesn't end. A taxi sighs, then fades from view, its echo folding into shade. Your hand leaves traces on the pane, as though to mark what doesn't stay. The world feels paused in breathless tones, like silence lit in slow cascade. Do you remember nights like this, when glow replaced the need for sound, when everything you didn't say was still reflected all around? There's neon in the window, a language light alone can speak. It writes in loops upon your skin and fills the room with colors weak. A quiet night that doesn't end. The bulb behind the sign goes dim, a final flicker in the blue. But even as the dark returns, its afterglow still stays with you. The crosswalk waits beneath soft shade. A flicker lingers near my heel. The glass behind the window hums, and something slips too faint to feel. I pass the cafe and by the bend, the awning swayed like it once did. A trace of you beneath the light, where sun and silence used to hid. The chairs still lean like we once did, half words, half glances, half amid. You were right here, the shadow moved, but not the name. Beside the glass, beside the steps, a part of time I couldn't claim. Your absence hums like distant flame. crosswalk bleeds into the stone. Your laugh remains in muted lines, a faded ring upon the cup, the kind that morning never minds. I stopped and stepped, but left unsure if memory tricks or truth aligns. Do ghosts still wait where love once paused, or is it us that haunt the air? The way I thought you'd call my name, but found just stillness folding there. You were right here, the shadow moved, but not the name. Beside the glass, beside the steps, a part of time I couldn't claim. Your absence hums like distant flame. A traffic light turns soft and slow, the wind reshapes the afternoon. A trace remains across the glass, not gone, not near, just out of June. wings of warm array. Your fingers tap against your coat, the rhythm rising through the gray. Dance around the town like fireflies caught in velvet night, with heartbeat tied to every turn. The spinning lights, the open sky, our shadows sleep where lanterns fly. Vendors hum in broken tune, perfume mixes with the spice. Children dart through neon shapes, their shouts a rhythm bold and bright. You spin, then glance, a spark, then hush. The stars lean in to catch the light. What if joy was just a loop, a moment strung on glowing thread, a sound you wear across your skin that lingers long after it's said? Dance around the town like fireflies caught in velvet night, with heartbeat tied to every turn. The spinning lights, the open sky, our shadows sleep where lanterns fly. The music fades but doesn't go, it walks you home with silent feet, still echoing beneath your ribs, a rhythm soft but incomplete. The glass hums warm upon the sill, a slow breath curls the window skin. Your fingers stretch toward golden dust, as if to hold the day within. The room is still a silent glow. Sun leans through folds of gauzy shade. You tilt the glass and shift your hand. A ripple flickers where light played. The shadows bloom between the grains, soft wonder caught in what remains, holding the light as if it knows you, fingertip to flame. The warmth refracts in gentle bends, a quiet spell you cannot name, and everything glows just the same. Outside, a bird slips past the sky, its wings like whispers in retreat. You press your palm against the glass, the moment pauses still and sweet. A flicker stirs along knows you. Fingertip to flame, the warmth refracts in gentle bends, a quiet spell you cannot name, and everything glows just the same. A final shimmer drapes the your shadow softened into gray. The glass now cool, but still you stay as golden dusk forgets your face. Soft rails echo under breath, the world outside a blur of light, as if the scene forgot what's next. Your coat pressed close, the window steams. We pass the station without name. The coffee trembles in your hand, reflected once, then gone again. Soundtrack rising in your chest, too quiet now to call it plain. Just like the movies, a fleeting reel we never planned. Our shadows stitched to every frame, no line rehearsed, no final stand. And still we ride through shifting land. The signal blinks a copper tone, the trees bend backward in retreat. A moment caught in moving glass, too fast to hold, too slow to meet. Your voice fades into trailing sound, then loops again beneath the sea. Did we imagine all of this? The track, the time, the distant blur. Or were we always meant to drift like extras no one would remember? Just like the movies, a fleeting reel we never planned. Our shadows stitched to every frame, no line rehearsed, no final stand. And still we ride through shifting land. Credits roll behind your gaze, in monochrome the world retreats. A silent score begins to swell, then settles softly on repeat. Sun curls soft along the tiles as shadow shifts beside my hand. The pen dips twice into the blue, and silence spills where words began. A cafe tucked beneath the hill, with tables worn from years of talk. The scent of citrus in the breeze, and painted birds upon the chalk. espresso cool, sneer curling cards, each phrase a step along my walk. Letters from Lisbon, written slow in golden air, beneath the glaze of patterned walls, a sunlit hush that lingers there, where memory leans against the day. The clock forgets to count the time. The streets unfold in pastel light. A tram sighs softly down the slope, then fades like dreams at edge of night. My thoughts arrive before the ink, still warm from something just out of sight. Will you still taste the sea in words when paper cracks and coffee fades? Do letters hold what eyes once saw, or just the shadows time has made? Letters from Lisbon, written slow in golden air, beneath the glaze of patterned walls, a sunlit hush that lingers there, where memory leans against the day. A final line, then breath and fold. The light bends low upon the glass. The page reflects a silent sun and slips into the afternoon past. The harbor breathed against the pier. forgot to turn, would we still be swaying here? Sway with the tide where the harbor sings, our bodies keeping time with the deep. Sway with the tide under silver beams, and the sea holds the measure for us. The last wave faded into glass, but the sway stayed in our bones. A folded page glowed under the window light, edges curled as if breathing in the night. The moonbeam found the ink and traced its slow words, holding still in the hush. Your name waited at the top like a tide, paused before the break. I reached once, then let my hand fall. Moonbeam letters kept in the quiet, carrying voices I've never heard aloud. Moonbeam letters sealed in the light, waiting for a hand to turn the page. Shadows lean close as if to read. The air moves softly, whisper against paper. Outside, the street slept under silver. A clock marking time with its faintest click. Every thought folded back into the envelope. Every feeling left to wait. If I open it, will the words change? Or have they been written in the sky all along? Moonbeam letters kept in the quiet, carrying voices I've never heard aloud. Moonbeam letters sealed in the light, waiting for a hand to turn the page. The beam shifted and the page sank back into shadow. On a terrace, a folded parasol leaned it. Shadows stretched long in the late sun. The wood was warm under my hand, still holding the day's golden breath. Shadows bent across the wall, slow as the hush between two notes. The air shimmered just enough to make the world feel softer. Folded parasol, keeping the light, hiding the afternoon. terrace dimmed, but its warmth stayed in my palms. A hush of air pressed between the glass and gold, the softest shift in altitude, a line of light across the fold. Seat reclined at 30,000 feet, the sky unfurls like linen drawn beyond the quiet frame. Clouds scatter in a paper dawn. Your fingers trace the shifting light, a breath held still and slowly gone. This is the paper sky where wonder floats too wide to name. A shimmer leads through folding white, then fades back into frame, and everything be conveyed? What if we never left this fold, this breath between the in and out? Would time forgive us for the wait, for choosing now and not the route? Stay a little more before the breeze rewrites the scene. Your heart beats near, it hums in silence, the space between us warm and clean. This pause could be the start of something. You smile, not moving, just enough to keep the air from slipping past. The glance remains, the cup untouched, and maybe something real will outlast. A hush falls over sliding doors, the hum of bells and distant wheels. Light flickers on the tiled floor, like something soft the silence feels. The suitcase rolls with a hollow grace, its weight a rhythm near heel. Your steps are slow, your gaze is light, still floating past what's fully real. The air holds traces of the sky, a quiet echo you can't conceal. After the flight, the landing done, but heart still high. You walk through glass and muted neon, beneath the dome of drifting sky. Some journeys stretch beyond the ground. A stranger yawns beside the gate, a child sleeps soft in blanket blue. You find your coat, adjust the strap, but time feels strangely out of view. The moment moves, but you remain held in the hush between the noon. Was it the air that clouds the height, or just the leaving that made you light? Or something softer, still unsaid, that stayed with you as others fled? After the flight, the landing done, but heart still high. You walk through glass and muted neon, beneath the dome of drifting sky. Some journeys stretch beyond the ground. You reach the curve, the world resumes. A hand wave lost, a taxi near, but in your chest a quiet lift, as if the sky forgot you're here. between us.